Happy, positive, joyful, thankful, mindful day. And the logic reason because we're gifted with this human, precious life, able to wake up this morning, able to breathe, able to see, able to hear, able to talk. And then we're gifted with this financial balance, stability, to have clothes to wear, roof over our head, to have food to eat, to have bed to sleep on. So be thankful every day for what you have, because millions of people are out there are dying for starvation, kids are dying for malnutrition, and people out there are taking the last breath, getting ready to leave this human, precious life. So today I'll be sharing a story about a rich, wealthy person who's always wanting more in life and not satisfied in life, and finding the real wealth of contentment and compassion. He was a very wealthy, rich person and also a father and a husband. He had so much money in the bank and also lived in a big multi-millionaire mansion house. He also owned many expensive cars, including Lamborghini, and he also owned expensive watches, including the Rolex. Every morning when he woke up, he always checked on his cell phone to make sure his stock market was doing okay. Every time when the stock market crashed, he got upset and angry and frustrated. And when the stock market went up, he still got upset and angry, because knowing in his mind that other people were also gaining money from stock market. And he never had time to spend time with his family because he was constantly checking his money investment on his stock market on his cell phone. And he was also not happy at work, because at his work he always talked about money with his co-workers, and knowing that his co-workers also was making more money and buying new things, and he also got angry, upset, and jealous, knowing that his co-workers were also gaining more financial wealth. And then after work, when he went home, he was getting angry and upset and showing his frustration from work to his family, and then back on checking his stock market again. So even though he was very wealthy, but he was always upset and stressed out and frustrated and angry, and he was never happy in his life. So one day, as he headed to work as usual, and that day he stayed overtime late to put in some more hours so he can make more money on his paycheck to compete and beat his co-workers, to show that he had made more money than others. That late evening, as he was driving home from work, he noticed a homeless person that was sitting on the side of the street with a cardboard on his hand, stating that I'm homeless and please donate some money. He was very surprised to see this homeless person had a big smile on his face and seemed very happy. So out of his curiosity, he stopped his car and gave this homeless person some money. And then he asked the homeless person, "How come you are so happy, and even though you don't have a lot of financial money for yourself?" And the homeless person laughed and said, "I haven't ate for 3 days and have been on empty stomach. And this morning I got some donation and got some food to eat. So that's why I had a smile on my face and I was happy because I got something to eat after 3 days had nothing to eat." All of a sudden, the rich, wealthy person became very emotional and he started having tears coming down from his eyes because he knew that this person had nothing, no food to eat, old clothes to wear, no house to live in, and no money in the bank. But he was satisfied knowing that he had something to eat this morning and was happy because of that satisfaction. And knowing that himself, he had lots of money in the bank and food to eat, big house to live in, and have a nice job, but always upset and frustrated and not satisfied for what he had. And then as he was driving home, he decided to park his car on the side of a street. And he took a walk and he was in a deep thought himself after realizing this homeless person's situation. And that night, as he went to sleep, he also had a dream about this homeless person's meeting today with his experience of seeing this homeless person's satisfaction. And the next morning when he woke up, he spoke with his wife and told his wife about this homeless person's words of wisdom and experience, and knowing that he needed to make some changes in his life for his own satisfaction of happiness and for his family happiness. And he told his wife that he realized from this homeless person's words of wisdom that the real happiness is within ourselves, the happiness of compassion and the happiness of inner peace. And then they both decided to sell his stock market investment. And not only that, he sold his big multi-millionaire mansion and moved to a smaller house. And then all that money investment they made from the stock market and selling that big multi-millionaire house, they have decided and bought a big apartment complex to give shelter to the homeless people on the streets. And after that, his co-workers, his friends, his neighbors also congratulated him and started following his footsteps for his good work ethics he have done to give back to the homeless people on the streets. And then he was happy again because of finding his real wealth of inner peace and wealth of compassion. And he finally started spending more time with his family because he had got rid of the stock market and his greed, and he became happy with his family again. And he realized the key to happiness is inner happiness and compassion by helping other people, and in return you receive the real happiness, wealth of inner peace and compassion and contentment. So the moral of the story is money is important in life, but too much thinking about money will bring you lots of stress, frustration, and will also ruin your life and also your family's life. So if you have lots of money, use your money to help poor people. And always know that no matter how much money you have in your bank, at the end of our life, we have to leave everything behind. And only thing we're left is peace of our mind. So every morning when you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed, always be thankful and be fortunate and remember this homeless person's story. Because you have roof over your head, because you have bed to sleep on, because you have clothes to wear and food to eat, and that's all you need. Millions of people out there are dying from starvation, kids are dying from malnutrition, and people sleeping on the streets because of no shelter. And be thankful of this human precious life, able to wake up in the morning, able to breathe, able to see, able to hear, able to talk, and able to sleep peacefully at night time. This is one of the ways to transform your mind and life, by constantly reminding yourself every morning and afternoon and every night before going to bed. Once again, happy, positive, joyful, thankful, mindful day. Thank you.